Hey, what is up, folks? Thanks for joining me today in my weekly sort of, I guess, pre next week stock market commentary. And I think that this week we're going to be in for seeing some interesting stuff happening. We did recently get to the all-time high for Bitcoin, and I want to also put into this sort of, kind of thoughts that there is this interesting. I saw an interesting chart. It was someone had made a sort of joke chart called the sort of Christmas pattern for Bitcoin, which is kind of like a picture of a Christmas tree um, with, like, obviously Bitcoin crashing down right after Christmas. That is erroneous because previous years we've had um, one of the hugest disruptors of the sort of economy, and that is Trump, just like flailing around causing havoc. And do not have that this year. And so I think it's really important that people remember we don't have we don't, okay, yeah, right here. We don't have Trump this year, and that's something a lot of people are forgetting about. Um, so I think something, just that's important to remember here is we're going to be entering sort of an era where people are focusing on, number one, what can revive the economy or the world economy, what can revive the US economy. How is cryptocurrency regulated? How is the rest of the stock market regulated? And what, if any, of Trump's changes to anything in the world economy will impact anything moving forward? I think one thing for sure that we're going to be seeing is Bitcoin, and only Bitcoin, is going to be seen as a sort of store of value. When I talk about store of value, I'm talking about it from a currency point of view. Interestingly, on Coindesk, they call, for instance, Bitcoin a currency. Whereas if we go down to Tezos, which I also am a huge fan of, that's not a currency, it's a software platform. I'm still waiting for the wife of Andrew Brightman. She's like a kind of involved in a trading card game that I mean, I forget, like, it's not coming out relatively soon, but it's on the Tezos software platform. So I guess you could say one of my number one, Tezos. Just, get a little bit of it and hold on to it. Not doing that well right now. Do not put anything into Bitcoin. That is a waste. I'm not quite as much of a fan of MicroStrategy anymore because they started buying more Bitcoin. That's like, why? One thing I am a fan of is basically anything that's going to do well in this sort of coming era of Biden. I think another thing that's important to remember is that China is going to be very significant. They just have started arresting leaders of various cryptocurrency exchanges that aren't regulated. So I think we're going to be seeing potentially Binance Coin going up a lot because that's one of the I guess you could say legal sort of changes, and you get like a discount for like fees on that exchange if you use BNB instead of BTC. In terms of actual equities, right now I caution against going too much into cannabis. I know a lot of people are like, well, Biden's like super awesome about that and stuff. I don't think that that will have as much of an impact as people think it will. I think one thing that could be very interesting is looking at non-Amazon and non-Alibaba sort of marketplace. So I really like, for instance, JD. I'm also, I guess, a fan of, for the same reason, Ethereum and Tezos. But like, just look for sort of smaller marketplace type sort of enterprises. And definitely you'll want to steer clear of things like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Netflix, all the FANGs, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a very volatile period coming up. I honestly would say a few things that I've been really impressed with have been Lazy or Lazy Days Holdings. I've been impressed with Starbucks, and I think people are mistaken for fleeing Canaan or CAN. It makes mining equipment for Bitcoin. They had some poorer than expected sort of earnings. They're not a bad company though, and they're small enough that they're not going to run into trouble with Chinese antitrust laws. So, and Palantir. I really like Palantir, and Citron is doing everyone a huge favor by making the price go down super low. In terms of bank stocks, I would take a close look at JP Morgan because they're now Coinbase's sort of ramp into the sort of actual finance industry. Again, I do want to wrap this up saying none of this is advice. Trading anything is super risky. This is all just my own opinions. But yeah, thanks for watching along. If you enjoyed this or have any questions or comments, please do leave those in the comments section. And yeah, I will see everyone in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.